Real Estate Mentor back with another action-packed session. Today we're going to be talking about the Trump effect. So how is the 2025, the next term 2.0 for Trump, how is that going to impact us as real estate investors? Disclaimer, this is not a political endorsement of any candidate. And I guess now it's not a candidate now because the results are in. But what this is a deep dive into what to expect as a real estate investor. Whenever one door closes, and I know a lot of people feel like, oh, my candidate didn't win, a door closed on me, another door opens. Mike, yeah, we're good for the ride along this Saturday. Guys, we have a couple of programs. We have the real estate ride along this Saturday coming up. So for everybody who's tapped in, somebody just grabbed one of the last tickets today. There's links in the description on the YouTube channel if you want to tap into that. If you're on IG, just DM me ride along if you want to get one of those last ride along tickets. We're going to tour the city of Philadelphia this weekend. You'll be with me. We'll be showing you the game, hands-on, how to build houses for a living, action-packed. We have our Boots on the Ground program. And when you come out to a ride-along, you kind of see the boots on the ground live, where we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you. And we'll build houses for you and get that going for you. And then we have our Inner Circle program. If you just want the knowledge, if you just want the course content and the one-on-one aspect of the coaching, we have that Inner Circle program. So reach out, DM me Inner Circle. If you're on IG, DM me Cash Flow. We got free trainings for you guys and the whole nine. But back to the spiel here. It's not about politics. It's really about when one door closes, another door opens. That always happens in real estate. So if you feel like a door closed for you because your candidate didn't win, but you're a real estate investor, you still have to stop and look at not the emotional aspect of this, but what doors open as a real estate investor. Where are my opportunities? Are there any advantages that I have today that I did not have a week ago, 2 weeks ago? What's the market going to do as it opens up? We're going to get into that. So make sure you stick around. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and share the content with someone else who you want to get value, because we're going to drop a ton of value for you guys today in a little bit of time. Let's get into the mindset. The mindset for today, regardless of what happened in the past. And I talk to all different types of people dealing with divorces, people dealing with, oh, I had a bankruptcy, I ran into this situation, I had a deal go bad. Regardless of what happened in the past, and definitely the last 4 years, we'll say, not because of any presidency or term, but because of, government shutdowns, all the things that happened in the last 4 years. It's been a bit of a whirlwind, rates going up. Regardless of what happened, the time is now. There are some things that are coming down the pipeline. The Fed just cut rates another 0.25% a few days ago. I think that was like Wednesday or Thursday. They just cut rates again. We're going to talk about Trump and this presidency and how that can lead to tremendously lower rates, maybe faster than anticipated. A record amount of money flooded the market after the election. A record amount. Bitcoin's at 84, 85,000. Money is just flooding the market right now. The time is now. This is not the time. And we've been talking about this for a while now. This is not the time to sit on the sidelines. I don't care who you are, what was going on, what your excuse was, what your story was. You sit on the sidelines right now, you're going to get obliterated. You won't even be able to talk about getting into real estate within a year from now. You won't even really be talking about it. The year or two, you'll have missed it. So tune in, tap in, get started right now. You're going into a lower interest rate environment with a lot of benefits that we'll talk about for real estate investors. And that is the question, is Trump going to be good or bad for real estate investors? We'll kind of break it down. Guys, as you have questions, just drop them in the chat section, drop them in the comment section. And if you're interested in those free trainings, just DM me, Cash Flow, or drop a comment on YouTube that says I subscribe. Anybody who wants to come over to the YouTube channel, it's Brian Loves Cash Flow on YouTube. Brian Loves Cash Flow. You can find me on there, and you can join the live there as well. So let's get into some of the things we wanted to talk about today. I'm going to keep this pretty short and sweet for us today. What Trump's win means for the Fed's independence. So if you don't know this, like, the Fed has a general independence from the president, from like the White House and that governmental control. But Fed Chair Powell, his term is up in 2026. He's not going to have an indefinite term. So there's a lot of pressure that Trump is going to be adding to him. And it could result in one of two things, I think, or three things. One, maybe he's just like, screw you, I'm not budging on rates. I'm going to do my own thing, and you can just deal with it. And I got 2 years left. I'm going to rock until 2026, which is not that long. It's another year. I don't think that that's likely, because everybody has an ego, and people who work at places, they want to feel like they're doing a good job. They want to feel like their boss or the higher ups like what they're doing. While Trump won't directly be like his boss, he did appoint Powell. So he appointed him. So if the guy who appoints you gives you this horrible review, or is constantly coming on the news week after week, like, this guy sucks, he needs to cut rates, you're destroying America. Like, if he's just going after you, eventually you're going to fold or you're going to resign. So I would anticipate one of those two things happening. He's either going to fold and start to cut rates faster and get with the program, or he's going to resign. In any event, he won't be getting another term. The next guy who's coming in will get appointed by Trump, by that presidency, and will likely be with the program, because nobody wants to get bashed in the media. These guys will do these terms, they'll do these jobs, but when that term is up, they have to do something else. They want to have their reputation. They don't want to get publicly like slandered by the freaking president. Like, nobody does. So they're likely to budge on rates. Rates are going to go down. They're already going down, but they're going to continue to go down. I've been telling people that, mortgage rates being slightly higher for, I guess, like the last month is kind of a fake out. It's just a fake out to me. It's nothing that's going to last. It's not consistent. So you kind of have those pressures there. Trump cannot fire the Fed, even though he might say, I'm going to take control of the Fed, I'm going to fire Powell. He really does not have the power to do that. So understand that, but there is a bully effect. Now let's get into some of the tax aspects of this. Rates will go down. As rates go down, that's good. You should know that that's good for real estate investors. You get lower rates, you can buy more houses with less money, and you can build more cash flow. This is also going to create really good refinance opportunities for you. For those of you who want to get in this game, in this BRRRR strategy, to do cash out refinances, to get paid to build houses, the time is now. Even if it doesn't feel like it, if you can't see it right now, I'm telling you, the time is now. You're going to wake up in 2025. It's going to feel like you're on a different planet in terms of economics. Let's talk about some of the other aspects of these things. And guys, if you have questions, drop them in the chat section, drop them in the comment section. We'll keep flowing. There's discussion in terms of Trump's proposed tax agenda for 2025. They want to make the 2017 tax cuts permanent. They want to make these tax cuts permanent. Why is this important to us as real estate investors in particular? I mean, this will make the average American, or like most middle income earners, better off from a tax perspective. But from a real estate perspective, one of the things that was included in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is 100% bonus depreciation. This was being phased out. Let me blow this up a little bit for my IG people. This 100% bonus depreciation extension was being phased out. It was set to be completely phased out, I believe, by 2026 or 2028. 2026 to 2027, 2028, something like that. It's going to be completely phased out. What this bonus depreciation does is it allows you to write off 100% of certain line items. Anything that you can do accelerated depreciation on a rental property, you can now 100% bonus depreciate. You could also do things like this, which is really cool. Let's say you're a real estate investor, and they gave me the thumbs up. Let's say you're a real estate investor, right? So you come. Let me remove this. You come into this game and you're like, hey, I'm doing 10 deals a year. I'm paying all this money for dumpsters. You end up paying $3,000 per job for a dumpster, just to haul away the trash. So you load up the dumpster, somebody shows up, they take it, they haul it away. That's $3,000 per project. You're doing 10 projects a year. That's $30,000 in dumpster fees. Well, why not just go out and get a dump truck? The dump truck costs $60K, maybe $70K now, but let's call it $60K. You could get a used dump truck for $40K or maybe $30K. So I go out, I buy this used dump truck, but because it's a business expense and it's a qualified business expense, I can now bonus depreciate 100% of that dump truck in year one. So I can buy it for $30,000 and write off $30,000 in depreciate. Like I can completely write that off as a loss. I can depreciate that asset. For my real estate properties, we went over this maybe like 3 sessions ago. But for my real estate deals, I can now bonus depreciate. I can accelerate my depreciation on my assets. And then I can write off 100% of any of the line items that I'm accelerating. This means for your average rental property, you'll be able to get like a $50,000 loss in years, maybe like 1 through 4, somewhere between that 30 to 50,000 on your average. I'll call it like a Philly property, which is like maybe it's only worth 250. You can write off $30,000, $40,000 a year against other earned income, especially if you're a real estate professional, with this 100% bonus depreciation. This is an absolute game changer. If this gets refreshed, extended, this is a complete game changer. You can wipe out all of your income. If you have a high earning spouse, you can wipe out their income with this bonus depreciation. So this could be massive for, it says a positive impact for cost segregation studies. So a very positive impact for those cost seg. If you don't know what cost segregation is or how to bonus depreciate properties, go back and watch our live. I did a live on this for you guys. It's really information people charge you for. And these tax companies will charge you thousands and thousands of dollars for a consultation just to talk about this. Go back and watch the live from like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I did a whole session on cost segregation, exactly how it works, and bonus depreciation. Assuming that if we had a Trump win, this thing would come back into play. So understand that that's back into play. And they want to make this potentially permanent. So this will be huge for developers. There's going to be some reduced regulations on development and property use. I think that that's really important. Let me shrink this down. Trump has emphasized reducing regulations on businesses, which could extend to development and environmental regulations affecting real estate. A reduction in regulations could make it easier for developers to obtain permits, reduce project timelines, which time is money in real estate, and lower the costs associated with new developments. This hypothetically could make new construction cheaper. It could bring down housing costs a bit with less regulation. A lot of people don't really understand that. But if you start adding more regulation, you start making it harder to go from single to multifamily, you start making the permit process slower and more cumbersome, people don't want to do it. They don't want to pull the permits. There are some jobs where you could build a house in 16 weeks, but with the permits, it takes 8 months because of the deadlines, the delays, the city inspectors. They kind of have this unfettered power and they abuse it. You set up an inspection, they no-show you, it drags your project. A lot of this stuff costs us a lot of money. And it gives us hurdles where developers do not want to build. They'll just stop building the housing. And then it hurts the affordable housing crisis. So that can create a lot of opportunities for you, especially if you're a new real estate investor. This is going to be an easier time to develop than the last 4 years. And the last 4 years have been exceptionally difficult. Hell, there was even talks of a national national rent cap. There's like all this stuff coming out that was going to make it harder on developers, on real estate investors, which now you're really just not going to hear about. Stuff's not going to pop up. Extension and enhancement of opportunity zones. Extension and enhancement of opportunity zones. These opportunity zones tend to lie in the neighborhoods that need development the most. So in the C-class neighborhoods, the neighborhoods that are rapidly developing, if you get extensions of opportunity zones, maybe even a refresh of some of the tax benefits associated with opportunity zones, this could be a massive opportunity for people who missed out on the first wave of starting opportunity zone funds, qualified opportunity zone funds, where you can raise millions of dollars from people who need those tax losses, those capital gains breaks. You can now maybe catch the second wave. This is a massive opportunity, especially for young and hungry developers who want to start up. I was talking to a guy today, and he's like, Brian, I love what you've done, how many deals you've done. I want to do similar. I want to build 1,000 houses. I want to build 5,000 houses and sell them off to REITs and sell them off to hedge funds in tranches. This could be a good opportunity for him getting started on that journey. So if you're getting started and if you're aggressive, some of these qualified opportunity zone opportunities are going to be huge. Jordan said, how do I start? You got to get tapped in. You have to start with knowledge. This all starts with knowledge. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, share the content with someone else who you want to get value. How to get started is to just get into the knowledge piece first, because this game can be unforgiving. A mistake could cost you 5 grand, 10 grand. If you're operating at the level I was just talking about, trying to do hundreds of deals, mistakes could cost you $250,000. So you got to educate yourself first, which is the point of these sessions. But also we have, programs, inner circle programs and all those things where you can get educated at a faster clip and get real one-on-one level support. But I would recommend to anybody who's looking to get into this game, educate yourself first. The first thing to invest in is you. Then you start investing in real estate and properties. That's what I did. I just did not have a quote unquote mentor, but I had people in my circle who were doing deals and who were trying to do 100 deals already before I even got started. So I had sounding boards, people I could talk to, people I could build with, grow with. If you don't have that, you need it. And I studied for a couple of years before I did my first deal, studied and saved. With the knowledge that's available today and the programs and the mentorship and all this stuff that's available today, you could accelerate 10 times faster. I have a mentee. You can see, I did a live with him on IG. If anybody DMs me wanting to see it, I'll send it to you. He just, he got in at like 19. We talked about creative financing, how to invest without cash or credit. He did like 2 or 3 deals, made about 25,000 off of that, which was like a 10x return on the knowledge and the course content. And then he just closed on his first duplex a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. He's got 2 units cash flowing him. He's 21, 22. I didn't even start until I was 27, 28, getting my first couple properties. And I've done hundreds of deals. I retired from the 9-to-5. Geez, I want to say, I can't even remember. I might have been 31, 32, something like that. So I worked in the 9-to-5 for 5 to 6 years and then retired into real estate. He's going to retire into real estate by 24. I don't even know what that world is. Like, you're 24, 25 with all that energy, all that youth, and you can retire into this game. But he got there because he's an entrepreneur. He saw the knowledge and he's like, I need to get that. And in getting that, he can achieve. And seeing him achieve, I know anybody can achieve. Anybody can, as long as you trust the process. Most people are so damn skeptical. They're too skeptical to learn. I have people so skeptical. I'm like, hey, you want to learn more? Hop on a quick call. We'll break it all down for you. Like, I can't commit to a phone call. And it's like, all right, good luck. Like, I ain't going to chase you down to give you the game, right? You got to want it. You got to go out and find it. But if you're looking for it, you can find it. But be cautious, do research. Don't be so skeptical that you stay stuck, because the time is now. And if you miss this window of opportunity, you missed it. Ain't nobody else going to miss it. It's just going to be you. And then you have to wait for some other opportunity in the indefinite future. Like, I don't know when those opportunities are going to open up. You may miss the boat, especially in some of these top 10 cash flow cities, because they're priced at a level that when rates go down, the cash flow is going to go through the roof, and people are going to jump in and really knock this thing out. So you just want to be on the end. But I recommend investing in your knowledge. Preservation of 1031 exchanges and like-kind exchanges. That's good if you're a real estate investor. That will get preserved. That will get extended. Qualified business income deductions. There's a lot of benefits for real estate investors with this qualified business income deduction. I won't get into all of them, but just understand, like, these are major benefits. As you get into this game, you'll be able to accelerate, because the tax code itself, as we're getting all these tax benefits that we're talking about, the tax code itself was written for landowners and business owners. As a real estate investor, you're both. So even if you don't know any of this stuff exists, by the time you go to file taxes and you get with an accountant, they're going to be like, hey, we got this loss. We can do these deductions. We got this, that. You're going to get a $20,000, $30,000 tax refund. And you're like, whoa, I didn't know this game was like that. It's like, yeah, that's the beautiful part is you don't need to know. One negative, increased tariffs. Trump's proposed 10 to 20% universal baseline tariffs on imports, alongside an even higher tariff on Chinese imports, which we get a lot from China, will cause imported materials and related renovation projects to be more expensive in coming years, reducing potential cash flows and benefits of renovation projects. So that's going to change the way that people invest in real estate. There's two ways. No, there's multiple ways. There's 101 ways, but two overarching ways to do this game. One is kind of ground up construction. And there are guys running around that are like, oh, I'm the ground up king, everything ground up, do it this way. Those guys are going to get crushed. When tariffs come into play and the cost of lumber spikes 200%, guess who gets screwed? The guy who's doing a ground up project that has an 18-month turn time, and they just get hit with it. They couldn't buy the lumber until month 4, and the price that they projected at just doubled or tripled, and they just eat the loss. That's the game. That's the ground up game. So if you're like me, people are like, Brian, why do you do gut renovations? Why do you swear by gut renovations? Because I've lived through cycles, and I've seen at least one government shutdown cycle where lumber has tripled, where electric materials are doubling. All these things are going up. And if you have existing structure experience, you don't need to reframe an entire property. You can go into a property and say, you know what, lumber is more expensive. So instead of blowing up the entire house and reframing it all, I'm going to save all the existing framing, or as much as possible. All the framing you can save, you can now save money. You can now eliminate that cost and just focus on projects where you don't have to reframe. So you can get around some of these tariffs and put yourself in a better position. That's really important as a real estate investor. So choosing the right strategy is everything. It is everything. And I've already chosen the right strategy. There are those who kind of study my way and understand the benefits of it, and understand that I've tried multiple ways and made mistakes already, and you can benefit from the mistakes that I've made. You don't have to make them. You don't have to get burned for $50K by a contractor. You don't have to run into brick walls with lenders and deal with different things. You can just navigate. And that's what I'll teach you how to do. But understand that from the perspective of how you build, you need to build in a way that makes sense for what the economy is doing, for what's going on with tariffs, for what price fluctuations are happening. And you need to build in a way where you have some sense of speed, where you can get in and out of a deal in 2 to 3 months. If you can get in and out in 10 to 12 weeks, now you're not as exposed to different price fluctuations on materials as you would be if you were a ground up specialist. I've seen more people lose money in ground up than existing structure, especially as you get the hang of it. Most people don't understand ground up. They think it's going to be one thing, the prices skyrocket on them, or the delays kill them. The carrying costs can kill you. If you're doing it all cash, God bless you. Those are the big benefits. Let me see if we have anything else here. And guys, if you have any questions, drop in the chat, drop in the comment section, and we will get to them. Impacts on the construction workforce. So we definitely have to talk about immigration. The immigration czar, they call this guy the border czar, who Trump recently appointed. I believe he was in office the last time, or he was appointed the last time Trump was in office, as the border czar, which basically like he's controlling, law enforcement and immigration. This guy used to run ICE, and he's not messing around. From what I've seen, he's really no nonsense. I would say if they had a stance, it's like over deportation. And they claim the focus is on, serious offenders or who they view as a security risk, and then just regular folks. If they start deporting people en masse, and that has a major impact on the workforce. I mean, there are some people who think, immigration is leading to affordable housing shortages. Maybe, I mean, landlords are going to rent to that marketplace for sure. But this is a big part of the workforce in construction, the people who are actually building the affordable housing. So if you start to mass deport labor, it could drive up labor costs on construction projects and therefore drive up the cost of housing. I think there are more signs that housing prices are going to get higher during a Trump presidency than get lower. I do not think prices are going to go down at all from what I'm saying. From what I'm seeing, prices are going to skyrocket from lower rates, tariffs and higher costs. Deregulation will make it easier to build, but I don't necessarily see it being easier to build leading to prices going down. Because why would people drop their prices when they can increase them, especially when rates are going down, meaning that people can afford more house? Builders aren't going to just drop prices like, hey guys, it didn't cost us as much to build this, so I just wanted to stack you a little win over here. Because builders didn't get a win when the 2020 shutdowns happened and there were eviction and foreclosure moratoriums and they just got screwed. They didn't get a win. They didn't get any relief. So it's going to be a recovery time. Prices are going to go up from that. Construction costs are going to go up. With immigration, a tougher stance on illegal immigration and the border, the workforce is going to get hit or become more squeamish, scared off. Maybe you're going to lose some people. That could lead to higher prices. So there are going to be a lot of things that lead to higher prices. As a real estate investor, as a BRRRR strategist, as a buy and hold, rental property investor, you want to look at that and say, the time is now. I better buy some houses now before prices go higher. A lot of you are in markets where you can't even find a property for less than $500,000 right now. I feel bad for you, but pick up the phone, reach out, DM me, and I'll show you where you can get properties still today for under 100K, under 150K. I'll show you where you can get deals and where you can produce cash flow. Some people, shockingly, and I see this on the feedback of some of my Instagram posts, some of the people who comment, it's like they become so negative. They just don't even believe these deals exist anymore. They're convinced. They're like, Brian, you're lying. You can't buy a property for less than 150K. And I'm like, bro, I just put like 10 of them under contract in the last 30 days. Like, why would you tell me something's not possible that I'm actively doing? But people have become that negative to the point where they just can't even see the reality of it. A lot of people are tapped out. And it's another reason to mention that is you have to be careful who you listen to. You have to be careful who's in your circle and who's trying to feed your mindset, because they might get you to buy into that belief. Oh, you can't do it. You can't make it as a real estate investor. Everything's too expensive. There's no cash flow. There's no. So then you start believing that. Well, what's that going to lead you to? Is that going to lead you to getting deals and making money and breaking free from the 9-to-5? It's going to lead to you missing the opportunity. That's all it's going to lead to. It's the misery loves company. It's going to lead to you sitting right next to them, singing that same song while other people are out eating your lunch. That's all it's going to lead to. Going out and getting the real information is going to lead to you accelerating. It's going to lead to you getting 1 foot out of the 9-to-5. That's where it's going to lead. That's the only place it could lead. Taking action, taking positive steps forward. It's going to lead to more positive. Each thing is going to lead to more of the same thing. Complaining, negative is going to lead to more things to complain about, more negativity. So you choose your circle. And your circle, it can really hurt you. It can really hurt you a lot. So that's the update that we have. We're going for about 30 minutes, and I wanted to keep it really tight. That's the update that we have on these Trump tariffs and kind of all of this information. Let me get out. Yeah. So, guys, in terms of that mindset, the time is now. Stay locked in. Bet on yourself. The market has certainty. The market has already spoken. This is not disputable at this point. The market has spoken. Go look at where Bitcoin is at. Go look at how much money poured into the stock market in the last 5 to 7 days. This isn't a fake out. This is serious business. Jordan asked, do you work with investors outside of Philly? I do. We have investors outside of the country. I've got investors in New Zealand. I've got investors in Canada. I've got investors in like all over the world and in the country, outside of the country, all across the country. We have investors everywhere that we're working with, and that we can, we can help you. We can get you dialed in. We can get you one-on-one support. But the investors that we work with, we're focused on cash flow. We're focused on people who are looking to build cash flow for themselves and their family. That's really my mission. I'm getting busy to the point, and for those who work with me know, a lot of you got text support directly with me, quick phone calls, one-on-one Zoom calls directly with me. And it's not because it's easy. I work hard so that you guys can get a benefit from that and really have an opportunity to learn directly from somebody who's done hundreds of deals, which is rare. But I'm looking for people who really want to change their life and their family's life right now. I don't have time for some of the overly skeptics. I just don't have time for it. I'm like, all right, go do your research. I dropped 200 videos on YouTube. I've got 30 podcast interviews. I've got, all these testimonies. You go watch that. You go do your research. When you're ready, reach out. I don't have time to be convincing people of those things. You have to have your own pulse. You have to be able to see the difference between somebody who's standing in front of a Lamborghini saying, look at my lifestyle, and somebody who's just feeding you information week over week over week over week over year over year over year. You have to be able to see the difference. If you can't, it makes me kind of become skeptical of you. That's the funny part. It's not the other way. It makes me skeptical of working with you because I'm like, they don't get it. They don't understand the value. I'm not trying to push somebody that hard. I'm trying to pull somebody. There's a difference. I'm trying to pull you ahead. I'm not trying to be pushing you. You're not a mule. That's what it is. But definitely get started. Like, a lot of you owe it to yourselves to take a gamble. I mean, hell, you get up and go to the 9 to 5 every day. You bet your whole livelihood on a job. Bet some money on yourself. Put some money on the table for your own education. Your education can never fail you. If you believe that education would fail you, you wouldn't have gone to school. Lots of you are in student loan debt. You didn't believe $150,000 of college would fail you, but you believe a couple $1,000 or whatever is going to fail you somehow. Knowledge of real estate will never fail you. Knowledge of real estate, going through even something like my course. I know there's other courses out there. I'm not saying there's no other courses, no other options but me. There's lots of options. You have to pick who resonates with you. I don't think they're all good. In fact, I know many of them are really bad and don't give you anywhere near the support that we give you. Our claim to fame is we give you real one-on-one support and nobody else will. And that's the damn truth. I work with some of the sales teams that work with the gurus, and they're like, damn, you do a lot. And I'm like, yeah. But that stuff won't fail you. Going through the right course in 2 months is more value than going through 4 years of college and paying hundreds of thousands. It's crazy, because knowledge of real estate is knowledge of taxes, knowledge of wealth building, knowledge of cash flow, knowledge of financial freedom, how to be free from the 9 to 5, or at least have one foot out, have some form of independence. So just make sure you stay locked in. Guys, if you got value from the session, like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that says I subscribe. If you're on IG, DM me cash flow. If you're interested in any of our programs, once again, we have the real estate ride along. That is this Saturday. This is the last ride along of the year. I'm not doing another one this year. And there are already people who are like trying to buy tickets for the next one. So the pre-order tickets are already almost sold out for the next one. If you're interested in a ride along, you want to spend a day with me live touring properties in Philly, hit me up. One new addition to the Boots on the Ground program. Well, DM me if you're on IG, DM me ride along. On the Boots on the Ground program, we're adding in a complete off-market sleeve. So I'm talking deals directly from the kitchen table. We got a team of cold callers banging the phones, getting motivated sellers. Hey, you looking to sell your deal? And then we're tapping people directly into those deals from our Boots on the Ground program. If you want off-market deals, if you want us to find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you, Some people say, Brian, if you do all that, why would anybody do all that for you? You don't need to worry about that. Who owns the properties? You own 100% of everything. You and your family get the long-term benefit. I don't. I'm a facilitator. I'm here to help. You own everything. You see everything. You learn everything. It's the ultimate learning experience. It's the way I can teach you the most. I'll just do it for you. I'll build a house for you. I'll take you around the bases. It's like T-ball. Anybody got kids in T-ball? You go up, you smack the ball, you round the bases. That's what it is. That's the Boots on the Ground program. But the Boots on the Ground program is also, hey, Brian, I'm busy. You know, I want to do this real estate. I have the intellect for the real estate. I have the capital, but I'm busy. I got the family. I got the job that's making me good money. I got the kids. You know, I'm barely staying afloat right now, energy-wise. I need leverage. I need somebody with contractors, relationships, lenders, time, focus, deal analysis, who can do all of this for me at a lower cost than it costs for me to do myself. I want to do 10, 20 deals a year. That's the Boots on the Ground program as well. I want to do 30 deals. We have people running at that pace right now in the Boots on the Ground program. So the Boots on the Ground can get you started and get you that knowledge, but it's also, if you want to accelerate and do multiple deals and scale up, where you're in a overpriced market. I'm in California. There are no deals here. Can you get me in a top 10 cash flow city? We're going to expand into Baltimore next year, Q1 of next year. So it's coming up fast. After this ride along, the reason I'm not doing another ride along is so that I can really carve out the rest of the year to really focus on launching Baltimore. But we're going to be launching that too. So then we'll be in 2 of the top 10. We'll be in number 6 and 7 of the top 10 cash flow cities in the country. And then before you know it, we'll be in 3 of the top 10. So if you're interested in any of that, getting into better cash flow opportunities, scaling a bigger portfolio, needing that leverage, reach out, DM me cash flow, DM me Boots on the Ground, and we'll get you guys dialed into that. And then we have the Inner Circle program as well. If you just need one-on-one support, if you're like, hey, I just want to invest, I'm over here, I'm in this market, I'm in Toledo, I'm in Arizona, I'm in wherever, and I need one-on-one support. I need deal analysis. I need to know what deals are good and what are bad. I need help putting together rehab budgets. We have that one-on-one coaching within the Inner Circle. And the Inner Circle group, the support system in the Inner Circle is insane. It's like nothing I've ever seen. If this was like a group of teams where I could put my Inner Circle group, all the people in the Inner Circle, all the investors from in and out of the country, all across the country, against another guru's Inner Circle or equivalent, I know my Inner Circle would crush them. We got private money lenders, like legit. We got sophisticated investors, people doing all types of deals, co-living, Airbnb, room rentals, market rentals, buying flips, buying holds, short-term rentals, mid-term rentals, some type of rental strategies I promise you've never even heard of. And they're networking together and building knowledge together. I'll put my team against anybody's team. We'll blow you out. We'll blow you out of the game. We'll beat you by 50. We'll have to put in the bench. We'll have to sub out the starters, put the bench in. We're winning by too much. Put in the last string guys. Put in the third string guys. We gotta let them keep some pride. Like, our team is strong. So to be able to network with these guys is incredible. Where can I view the list of the top 10 cash flow cities? I mean, you can Google it, but I've dropped that list. Actually, we have a video, one of our live videos, where I went through the top 10 cash flow cities. I go through it quite often, but on the top 10, my favorite, Cleveland's on the top 10, Cincinnati's I believe on the top 10, but no, it's Cleveland, Columbus, top 10, Baltimore's top 10, Detroit is in there, Philly's in there, Pittsburgh might have just squeaked in there, but it's mostly the Rust Belt in the Northeast. Definitely not going to see California on there unless it was written by somebody from California. Then they're going to be like, oh, we're in the hottest market. The market's heating up over here. And it's like, yeah, all right. For California, sure, the market's heating up, but that market ain't heating up nationally. You couldn't pay me to go buy a house in California right now. I mean, of course, if you want to live there, you're from there and you're raising a family, that's a whole different story. But as a cash flow investor, what? Like that to me would make no sense. Most of those properties are negative cash flow statistically. Now rates are going to pull down, but put your money where it goes further. That's a old money management strategy. Money goes further, buy those stocks. Hold them until they reach fair market value. Buy underpriced assets. Hold them until they reach fair market value. Sell them at fair market value. Take money, go buy more undervalued assets. Very simple strategy. So right now, the time is now. With technology, the time that we're living in, the ability to invest out of state is at an all-time high. You'll still hear people say, oh, investing out of state is too risky. These are just roadblocks. These are just things that hold back the average person. That's all I hear. Oh, it's difficult. Okay. That means less people will attempt it. Good. That means when I solve it, I'll have less competition. Great. I'm going in that direction. I'm going in that direction. But it's at an all-time level with the technology, the systems, the resources that are available, the global infrastructure, the global economy we live in, the global talent pool, being able to use Zoom and different things to hire virtual assistants and train, and there's really no limit right now. I promise you, an investor, if I did like a cryo freeze on an investor from 1960 and I unfroze them right now, they would look around and be like, holy shit, I can invest anywhere in the country. Like, what a gold mine. They would see it clearly because they know a world where you don't have access to any of it and where you are trapped in your local market. This is such the opposite of that. It's insane. It's insane. So you take your money, you buy assets where they're cheaper because the cost to build is the cost to build is the cost to build. Guess what? The lumber ain't coming from Arizona. The lumber is coming from out of the country. The price of the lumber is the same everywhere in the country. The cost of construction is pretty similar everywhere in the country. Build costs don't fluctuate as much as people think. Building styles fluctuate. But once you learn build costs, you start to see, well, if I could buy that for $80,000 in Baltimore, I couldn't build it for $80K. I couldn't buy dirt, dig it out, lay a basement, frame up off of that, put a roof, wrap it in Tyvek. I couldn't do it. Put siding on it, put new windows, floor trim, door. Couldn't do it for $80K. So your light bulb goes off and says, this is selling for less than the inherent value. And at some point, it's going to return to at least the build cost. Most properties, if you think about it, don't they sell for more than it costs to build them? Most properties, right? Because a builder's got to make a profit. So it costs more for the property than the cost to build it. There's a builder's premium. If you could buy a property for less, substantially less than the cost to build it, just hold it until it just reaches the build cost. Sell it. Take the profits, reinvest them. Or keep it, refinance it. Pull the liquidity out of it. Pull the equity out in a refi. That's a tax-free refinance. There's so much strategy here. But this is how you have to think. And you have to get into the right markets. Don't complain on my Instagram post that like I'm putting, this is fake. You can't do. That's ridiculous. That's showing your mindset. And that won't have any impact on me or anyone who really rocks with me. We just look at it and laugh and we're just like, damn, less competition. God bless. Less competition. We won't have to worry about them. Their mindset is so trapped that they can't even see what we can see. They're not even a blip on the radar. And we don't mind seeing it. When you change your mindset, you'll see more. Your mindset determines what you see. Your mindset will never determine what I see. They said the haters, GB said the haters are your biggest fans. Definitely. Most people follow you, don't subscribe. More people follow you and watch you that don't subscribe than the subscribers. But they don't hate. They're not haters of, they're haters of the knowledge. They're haters of the knowledge. They're haters of the path, because it's really a fear of taking that leap of faith, of jumping and allowing the net to appear. A lot of people are just afraid. They don't want other people to be brave and bold. So they want to intimidate, to talk you out of your dreams and your goals so that you can be stuck with them. The problem is, if you're stuck with them, it's not a better environment. You'd rather fail. You'd rather go for your dream and fail. Life is so short. Middle age is 38. You'd rather go after your dream and fail than miss your window of opportunity. You'd rather go after your dream and fail than miss your opportunity. Oh, I'm just seeing this out. Brian, I have my son listening to your live right now, and he gave me a thumbs up. Oh my goodness. If I got the kiddos listening, I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful. But that's great. It's great to have, on the flip side, it's great to have your kid listening. I mean, they could be playing a video game right now. They're listening to this. Maybe it gives them an interest in real estate investing. I mean, their parents are doing it. They're real estate investing. Your kid starts learning, oh, you can watch YouTube and learn about real estate investing. You learn that at 10 years old. You start going down that tangent. By 16, they know how to freaking sectionate a property. And it's a different mindset. The mindset is everything. So now, even if they're working a 9 to 5, they're not working it like you're working it. You know, because you're really hating it. They're looking at it like, hey, this job is just here for a couple more years, and it's just putting more money into my real estate portfolio. It's a different mindset. And that's like not getting up and going to work. That's getting up and putting in time in a partnership that's going to put forward all the money for the real estate empire and take no benefits, no ownership, no equity, no nothing. And that's the right mindset. But we got the kiddos on the 24/7 cash flow channel. What can I do with 10K today? With 10K, you can get started. I mean, you could get into kind of off-market deals, creative financing. It's enough to do an FHA deal in some locations, but you'd have to be in the right city. I'm not sure where you're at. But the first thing to invest in, if I was starting off with 10K, when I was starting off with 10K, because this was a reality. I was not born with, tons of money and all this opportunity, like none of it. I worked 100% commission. My first year working, I made 7K. Like my first year working, I made 7K. This is why I said I saved and studied for multiple years, like 2.5 years, because I wasn't making anything. I was working 100% commission. I was probably paying to work. I was working for free. I would invest in myself with 10K. It won't even cost you 10K to invest in yourself. I would take a fraction of that and I would start getting knowledge. With the knowledge, you could learn how to invest with like $500. So the knowledge is worth more than the money. There's two things in real estate, knowledge and money. The less you have of one, the more you need of the other. So if you're starting off with no knowledge, you need lots of money. You need much more than 10K with no knowledge. You need 100K, which means the 10K, it becomes meaningless. You need 100K if you don't know anything. Because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to cost yourself. You could make a mistake that could cost you 10K. That you couldn't even see. Didn't even see it coming. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Just like you not understanding the tax benefits of real estate doesn't mean you don't get them. You still get them. It's not a prerequisite that you had to know that you could do this tax write-off before you bought the property. No, you didn't. You can just do it because you bought the property. You can make a mistake because you're doing deals without knowledge. But the more knowledge you have, the less money you need. To the ultimate level, which is like sensei level, kung fu level, where you need no money at all. Because you have so much knowledge, you would need absolutely no money. You could raise money faster than you can earn it. Don't believe me? How long would it take you to earn 100K? How long would it take you to pick up a phone, call somebody who's got 100K sitting around in an old IRA and say, hey, you want to put it towards real estate? Yeah, I want to do it. Cool. I could raise 100K in 10 minutes, 10-minute phone call and a pitch deck. To earn that 100K might take you a year or two, especially after tax. So it is much faster to raise money than to earn it. The easiest way to raise money is with superior knowledge, because money flows to knowledge in the real estate game. That's why lenders exist. What do you think lenders do? Hard money lender gives money to who? Somebody who's knowledgeable and has a deal and puts together a plan that shows that they can reasonably execute on said deal. That's the person who gets the loan. So money flows to knowledge. So the first thing to get is knowledge. You are investing in knowledge so that you can get more real estate with less money. It's an investment in that. It's not a, I put my money in and poof in the thin air. It's not a get rich quick. It is not a, I'm going to pay so that I'll put in 5K in, but I need like 500 a month back off that 5K. This isn't the fucking stock market, right? This is real estate. But an investment in your education could only lead to you doing more deals in the future with less money, which is an infinite return on investment. And it will show up when you're talking to lenders, when you're talking to other investors, when you're talking to motivated sellers. It's going to show up everywhere in the business. You're going to be able to access that knowledge and implement it everywhere across the business. It's going to show up in making less mistakes, because it's easy to lose 10 grand. It's so easy. It's scary how easy it is. So if you want to protect yourself, if you're serious, you invest in your knowledge first. The less money you have, the more reason to invest in your education first. You got $1 million bucks, go blow it. Jay said, my 12-year-old's listening now. I'll lay off some of the F-bombs. But good for them. They're going to hear much worse in real estate. This is the PG version of real estate, especially on the job site. Mark, no such thing as a failure. As failure. You either win or you learn. Facts. That's all mindset. You either win or you learn. There is no failure. It's just a lesson. Because, and I can speak to that, some of what I perceived as being my biggest failures in growing a portfolio and scaling and, you know, having different things. You might have a house collapse, kitchen catch on fire, the fire guy for stealing, just different things that can happen as you're scaling, as you're dealing with different contractors. And, you know, bought one house, it was leaning like this, ended up being a tear down. A lot of these things that you perceive as failures, they're really lessons. When you take the lessons, you start applying them to future deals. You're like, man, I lost 30K there, but I made 100K there. Somebody said house collapse. It's like, oh, yeah. Well, actually, yeah. This is why I put my course together. I didn't put my course together one day because I was like, hey, you know, people are making lots of money just grabbing people off of you. Like, no, I put it together because I had made some mistakes. And I was like, man, I can help people. And a lot of, you know, family and friends were reaching out, trying to get knowledge. And it was like, how can I give you a decade's worth of game over a cup of coffee or a phone call? You can't. So I really put together that content for friends and family, which should tell you I didn't hold anything back. That's not the intent. But yeah, I've been through some wars. I've been through some battles so that you don't have to. So that you don't have to go through those tough lessons. Now, and all these things are avoidable because hindsight is 20/20. But if you have no ability for hindsight because you never went out and did it in the first place, then you could just get beat over your head for serious amounts of money. And here's the thing. Back to the 10K, and not to dwell on the 10K, but it's easy to have 10K and to come in and be like, I want to invest 10K. I don't want to invest more than this. I don't want to deal any more than this. But what if you're in a deal and you thought the budget was going to be 60 and it's 72. You don't get to negotiate. Who do you go to the property? Do you stand in front of the property and yell at the property? You were supposed to cost 60. You got to bring your price down. Like, what are you going to do? You got to pay. You got to pay the game. There's nobody to negotiate with. A lot of people, they might look at a real estate coach. I don't want to pay that to get in the coaching course. I don't want to do. You can negotiate with that, but you can't negotiate with the game. I tell some people, one guy, he had a really bad attitude. I just told him, like, we don't even need to do a call. Like, you're good. You have a bad mindset. But he's like, I'm not gonna pay for something I can get for free, and I'm not gonna do this. And I was like, I'm not asking you to. Like, you know, go your way. Good luck. But what I will tell you is you're gonna pay, just like I paid. I'm smarter than you, and just talking to you, I know I'm fucking smarter than you, and I still got burned for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I know you're gonna get burned, and I know how you're gonna get burned. And there ain't no negotiating. I'm here to tell you, as somebody who's lived through it, there ain't no negotiation. You got to pay whatever the game puts in front of you. If it puts $50,000 ticket in front of you, you got to write it, or you're not going to get to the deal. So education is the only way to protect yourself. This is a heavyweight bout. Going into this game uneducated is like going into a Tyson fight with absolutely no training and just being like, yo, I'm the best fighter in my hood, though. Okay. Good luck with that one. I think you're going to be on the canvas really soon, probably in the first round. So this game plays for keeps. You have to understand that. You got to invest in yourself. Once you invest in yourself, a lot of this stuff kind of goes out of the window. You'll know what you can do with 10K. You'll know what you can do with 2K. You know what you can do with 0. And you'll be surprised at what you could do with 0. You're like, damn, even with nothing, I can get out here and make something happen. I can scale something up. And as you become more knowledgeable, the money means less and less because there's so many people out there with the money and the lack of knowledge. The knowledge is the true scarcity. The knowledge is the true scarcity. It's just hard to believe if you're still in 9-to-5 mode, because they make everything, they like drip money to you and they make everything scarce. They make the money scarce. But it's really the knowledge that is the scarcity in this business. Once you get the knowledge, there could be money that you're turning down. When they say, oh, money ain't good money, you don't really you won't understand that until you're scaling your portfolio, doing things, and people are offering you certain things. And you're like, I'm good. Actually, that's a distraction. Don't need that. Because you have superior knowledge, you know you can go get money elsewhere. You know that that's not your hurdle anymore. Daryl said Happy Veterans Day. So guys, it looks like we're out of questions. I'm just going to scroll through on the IG. But if you got value, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that says I subscribe. If you're on IG, DM me cash flow. DM me boots on the ground. DM me ride along. I could probably squeeze in one more ride along. For our people who are boots on the ground members, Inner Circle, some of you have expressed interest in the ride along. Reach out, text me. I'm finalizing a list because we have to set different priority levels, especially if you've been on a ride along before. But reach out, text me, confirm that you're on the list. I'll be sending out a blast email with all the where we're meeting up and all that stuff. We got the tour bus loaded, everything's rocked and rolling, and I'll send you that information tomorrow for anyone who needs it. And it'll be, I hope it doesn't rain or anything, but it'll be exciting, man. We're probably working on about 25, 30 rehabs right now. So it'll be an exciting day to come out, see some co-living, see some triplexes. We might see a land lot or two. We're going to see a bunch of rentals. We're going to see a lot of stuff. It'll be really action-packed. Amira said, are you able to do multiple flips without using your own money and use the profits to put down on rental properties? Yeah, absolutely. And when you put the profit down on the rental properties, when you have this these, I'll call them Trump tax cuts and tax incentives, you're now going to get tax losses for what you put down. I mean, for your profits. So you can make profits off the flip. and then you can get those write-offs to offset your profits, offset your gains. Joy said, what is the minimum needed to invest? It really depends on what you're looking to do, what type of deal you're looking to do, how many deals you're looking to do. That will tell you your minimum amount you need to invest. I would say for a single, if you're using 100% lender in a market like Philly, usually like I've seen deals you can get into for as little as like 13K. That on average, I would say like 18 to 20K. And that's kind of when I started. I did my first deal. My first deal, I only came out of pocket, I think it was like somewhere between 5,000 to 7,000, but I had about 20K to play with. That I think is like a comfort level. If you're going to play with a real buy and hold or burst strategy deal, if you're going to do creative financing, where you try to, invest with limited cash, maybe no credit or bad credit, you can do creative financing with less than like 5K. You can do creative financing with very little to no money. So you don't need a lot of money to get started. And I've helped people to get started with, little to no money, and they have success. Everybody's surprised actually when I help them to set up a campaign and they start getting phone calls from motivated sellers. They're like, whoa, this is real. Like, I'm on the phone with people, they're looking to sell. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you follow the process works. The process works when you just apply yourself. It works for anybody. It works for a 19-year-old kid. It'll work for you if you're 90. If you know how to get on the phone and work a little bit of software, or hire a virtual assistant and have them do it and just train them. But yeah, you could do multiple flips without using your own money, using OPM, and then take the profits, put them down on rental properties, get tax losses, offset your gains, wash, rinse, repeat, raise money, leverage the existing debt on properties. There's 101 ways to skin the real estate cat. There's 101 ways. You just have to pick the ways that work for you and then apply yourself to them and stay locked in. So I hope that helped, guys. If you guys need me, you know how to reach me. DM me, email me, text me for those who have that level of access. But DM me on IG if you want to get locked into this thing. Stop waiting. Get your ass off the sideline. Final warning. We've been talking about this for a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. Now we're here. We know who the president's going to be. The market has responded. It has spoken. If you sit on the sideline, that one's on you. But don't think you're sitting on the sidelines is going to convince us to sit on the sidelines. All you're going to convince us of is that there's less competition. That's all you're going to convince us of. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor. I'll see you guys on the next one. We're doing one on Wednesday with the What's a Mortgage family. We're doing 2 more lives this week. 2 more. So this is a bonus week. The Inner Circle call this week is canceled for any Inner Circle people, but we'll be picking it back up next week. But we're doing a live on Wednesday with the What's a Mortgage family. That's 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then we're doing a Friday live in Philly with the What's a Mortgage family again, because Big Brother Men is flying out to Philly. We're going to be looking at properties together. We're going to have some content shot there, but we're going to do some lives there as well for you guys. So definitely lock in on that. We're going to have a little bit of live, kind of, boots to the ground action. So you guys can see us walking through Philly, looking at some houses. We'll let you ask some questions live as well, and just keep teaching you guys the game. Keep bringing this information into your awareness so you guys can accelerate. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Reach out if you need me. Hope all's well. And enjoy the holidays if you guys don't make it to any of the future sessions until after some of the holidays. I'll see you guys.